He was Opie Taylor before he was a teenager and Richie Cunningham before he was 20 and one of the most celebrated directors in Hollywood before he was 40. Ron Howard has spent his entire life in public view, on television sets as a child, behind cameras as an adult, and always projecting the same wholesome, grounded, genuinely decent image that America decided to trust instinctively from the moment it first saw his freckled face on The Andy Griffith Show. But the double life running quietly beneath that image is a story so completely unexpected that even people who have followed his career for decades will find themselves stopping cold. Ron Howard was born on March 1, 1954, in Duncan, Oklahoma, into a family so completely embedded in the entertainment industry that his childhood had no meaningful separation between ordinary life and performance. His father Rance Howard was an actor. His mother Jean was an actress. He was performing before he could read scripts independently. By the time he was 6 he was on national television. By the time he was 8 the entire country knew his face. He never rebelled. He never disappeared into the tabloids. He never gave Hollywood the crisis it seemed to be waiting for from a child actor who had never known anything else. He simply kept showing up, thoughtful, professional, and apparently immune to the particular pathology that the industry reliably produces in people who grow up inside it. The first hidden life was the creative one. While the world saw Richie Cunningham on Happy Days through the 1970s, Ron Howard was quietly building the directorial career that would eventually make the acting career feel like a footnote. He directed his first feature at 23. By the time Happy Days ended he had already decided the camera was where he belonged, a pivot so deliberate and so privately executed that most of his television audience did not register it until he had already made several films. American Graffiti, Night Shift, Splash, Cocoon, Backdraft, Apollo 13, A Beautiful Mind, which won him the Academy Award for Best Director in 2002 and announced to the industry something his closest collaborators had known for 20 years. That the boy from Mayberry had been one of the most quietly serious filmmakers of his generation the entire time. The second hidden life was the personal one. Ron Howard met Cheryl Alley at a party in 1973 when he was 19 years old. They married in 1975 and have been married for over 50 years, a fact so statistically improbable in Hollywood that it functions less as a biographical detail and more as a rebuke to every assumption the industry makes about the impossibility of lasting love inside it. They have 4 children. Their daughter Bryce Dallas Howard became one of Hollywood's most compelling actresses entirely on her own terms. Ron has spoken about making the deliberate and consistent choice throughout his career to prioritize his family over every professional opportunity that conflicted with it. The double life was never infidelity or scandal. It was the extraordinary and completely invisible discipline of a man who loved his wife more than his legend. In 2026 Ron Howard is 72 years old, still directing, still married to the same woman he met at 19, and still the most stubbornly decent person in an industry that has spent 50 years trying to convince everyone that decency does not survive contact with it. He proved otherwise. Quietly. For 30 years. And nobody noticed because that was entirely the point.